again, Joanna Macy's got this beautiful image she talks about that she says she can see bodhisattvas, like beings lining up in the Buddha fields, like in line to be incarnated at this time, because it's such an exciting time that, you know, that she sees it as people are kind of dying to be incarnated to come into this moment on Earth, and that gives me strength in those darker moments. Back to the organizations. Yeah, I mean, it's such a huge topic, it's hard to know where to start. I came into this through this fascination of, okay, clearly the default way of organizing is hierarchy. What else is out there? How else could we organize? And then there's this kind of whole movement of non-hierarchical, decentralized networks. So Frederick Laloux talking about reinventing organizations, holocracies, like quite a rigid example of that, but one that's used a lot. And these are different kind of ways of organizing that take on the form of a circle, or many like nested circles or networks, instead of a top-down triangle. And so people often think when they're moving from like a hierarchical organization to a non-hierarchical one, they're like, great, we're just going to take away all the like hierarchies, we're going to take away all the rules, and we're going to work it all out, and it's going to be fine. Actually, it takes far more work, far more consciousness and awareness and effort and learning to be able to exist in a non-hierarchical, responsive system. Because suddenly, instead of being able to kind of sit in your place in the organization and just wait for the command to come, you actually decentralize leadership to everyone in the organization. So everybody starts to have a responsibility that if they need to be constantly sense-making and perceiving and learning and deciding what to do, and also, you know, these practices such as learning practices, feedback practices, doing kind of collective sense-making, that all becomes far more important, because suddenly there's a kind of bottom-up leadership that needs to be exercised, which allows the system to be responsive. So it's like if something happens here, then this area, like just like with the mycelium, it can kind of adapt and rewire and start to respond to something that happens kind of locally. It's the same for humans.